Welcome back to another video, man. And today we have 2Pac's entire discography. God almighty knows. Alright, guys, welcome back to another video, man. Today we have 2Pac's entire discography reviewed and graded. You feel me? Like, god dang, why is that word so hard? Discography. You feel me? We're gonna be reviewing and grading every single 2Pac album. I plan on doing this on my own. You feel me? Once I react to all of his albums. Hopefully by the end of this year, I'll accomplish that. But we're going to really figure out who is, which one of these albums is his best album. I'm going to put my input in as far as after each album. I'm going to grade it myself. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video. Y'all make sure I get this video to 20 likes and I'll drop more 2Pac content. But let's see what he's talking about on here, man.
2Pac came out swinging on his debut album and showcasing infectious rap style.
Okay, let's see. So, 2Pacalypse Now, he gave it 130. I don't know what is this being graded out of, but yeah, it's an A+++. I like 12 out of 13 tracks, which is a score of a 92. I added 30 and something extra points, provided consistently good style, deep topics, and production is amazing on the album as well. Okay, so this kind of makes me feel good about doing 2Pacalypse Now, because he said it's a good style. It seems like I don't know, it just seems like it could be one of them ones. He said it's a lot of good songs. So does that make that a 10 out of 10 song? I mean, a 10 out of 10 album or a great album? I feel like for an album to be a 10 out of 10, it has to be great. It has to be more than good. I feel like good is like a B+ type area. You feel me? It's 3 amazing songs on here though. So we're gonna see if I really agree with this. Brenda's Got a Baby, that's the only song I know off of this album so far.
His flow and lyrics are intriguing, as he has the ability to make the listener feel his pain when it comes to certain issues that plague the black community. These issues involve kids growing up in broken homes, which leads to them going down a negative path. On the song Trapped, we witness 2Pac dealing with the struggles of his community that was brought forth by a corrupt government. Now 2Pac has to battle between good and evil, as the system has him trapped in a mental prison. These are the types of concepts you're going to be presented with when you listen to this project. Be prepared to cry, as 2Pac writes incredible stories that highlight the harsh realities of impoverished societies. The song Brenda's Got a Baby is a perfect example of this, as 2Pac tells a sad story about a young single mother that was dealt a short hand in life. But all isn't sad and political on this album, as 2Pac also showcases a very energetic style. He did this on tracks that have a hype feel to them that has the ability to ferociously make your head nod. In conclusion, this is a great album from 2Pac, as he displayed his abilities remarkably.
Dang, he wrote an essay about every single song. God damn.
Say the blacker the better, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots.
2Pac took a major...
Okay, strictly for my ends. He gave this a C. Holler if you hear me. I feel like I think I reacted to that song. Keep Your Head Up. I know that song. What's another song? I Get Around. That's not a good song. That's an amazing song. I Get Around. Round and round, round and go. It's only 3 songs that I know off this album, though, for sure. I don't know if I would rate it a C, but I haven't reacted to it. But I don't know if I would give it a C. The way y'all be telling me to react to it, I don't think it might not be a C.
back on this project as his style got very tiresome early on. His flow is uninteresting for the most part, which greatly highlights his repetitious subject matter. I said this before, but I'll say it again. I don't necessarily have an issue with tedious topics. The issue comes when the artist doesn't do anything creative to keep my interest. 2Pac's flow didn't age gracefully on this project, as I found myself bored listening to a lot of these tracks. Another thing that I must point out is that 2Pac's message is very convoluted on this album, which leads to him contradicting himself quite a bit. One minute, he wants black people to stand up against their oppressors, and the next minute he's killing and robbing those same black people. Another contradiction comes from the track Keep Your Head Up. On this song, he encourages men to treat women better. He then turns around and says that he doesn't want to commit to one woman on the track I Get Around, which continues the cycle of women being treated badly by men. But although these contradictions exist on certain tracks, it still doesn't stop me from enjoying them. All in all, this album was a major setback, but there were a handful of tracks that I still enjoyed.
When I was young, me and my
Okay, this album right here, Me Against the World. This is his first #1 album. I'm not gonna lie to you. This album, I would give it a A. I give it an A+ actually. I give it an A+, A+.
mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets.
So back at
2Pac provides passionate performance.
Oh, I should have kept it at an A. I should have kept it at an A. He gave it an A too. Okay, he gave it an A.
On these tracks. This is due to him addressing his current struggles at the time, which consisted of him dealing with the court case and having negative labels put on him by the media. 2Pac also reflects on his past, which consisted of various hardships. Two major highlights showcased this greatly. The song So Many Tears involves 2Pac reflecting on all the people he lost through gun violence and how it continues to affect him. Dear Mama is an incredible song with fascinating production and a very heartfelt performance from 2Pac. This song involves 2Pac showing his appreciation for his mother, as she did the best she could to raise him. But although this album has its highlights, it definitely has some flaws. 2Pac's overall style gets tiresome on certain tracks, as he rarely switches his flow. This also highlights his repetitious subject matter, which consists of him rapping about his hardships. I started to notice this on the song Lord Knows, which contained the flaws I've mentioned before. But although 2Pac provides a monotonous style on these songs, I still didn't think they were bad, but they definitely lack replay value. Another major highlight on this album were all the additional vocals from singers, which brought out these passionate tracks even more. All in all, this is a really good album with passionate performances and great production.
So far, he thinks 2Pacalypse Now is better than Me Against the World. Y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. I could see. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave this an A+. I wouldn't be surprised. In reality, I feel like this might be a B+. If Me Against the World is an A, this has to be a B+. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gave it an A+.
2Pac's energy on this album
he gave it an A++. You feel me? Okay. I see what this guy's doing. He's trying to play with my mind. Okay.
outer worldly. It definitely feels like he has something to prove, and he most certainly did, as this album has consistently good performances from him. The production is another key factor, as the elements of the instrumentals are hard-hitting. Another great aspect of this album are the guest appearances, as they assisted 2Pac remarkably. My favorite performances from the guest features are the R&B artists, as they did a fantastic job providing melodic vocals on the smoother tracks. Great examples of this are Casey and JoJo on the track How Do You Want It, and Danny Boy on the song I Ain't Mad At You. Another great element of this album is 2Pac's ability to provide a multitude.
Okay, so off rip, we gonna figure out what's the amazing songs. Amazing song, Ambition as a Rider is amazing. Scandalous, amazing. How Do You Want It is amazing. Two of America's Most Wanted, amazing. California Love Remix, I feel like that's an overrated song. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shorty Wanna Be a Thug, I feel like that's a great song. Holla at Me, that's a great song. Wonder Why They Call You B, I guess you could say that's a good song. What else? Dang, what's another song? Dang, it's a song. Hold up. What's that song? It's like Heart of Men's. I think that's what it's called. Is that on this album? Yeah, Hearts of Men. That right there, that's a great song.
Interesting concepts that deal with everyday life. He also shares his perspective on certain things, which is intriguing to listen to as he consistently provided fascinating, passionate performances. But although there's a lot of good on this album, some tracks were killed by the guest features. In conclusion, this is a really good album as Tupac showcases his hunger and passion to the highest degree.
And God said he should send his one.
10 out of 10. A plus. This is best album. This is his best album. If I were to sit at a round table with a whole bunch of Pac supporters, I would say this is 2Pac's greatest album that he's ever dropped. I will say my personal favorite is Until the End of Time, though.
This is Tupac's first posthumous
What? He gave it a B? No.
album, and it showcases a lot of flaws. What I've noticed about Tupac,
Hail Mary's decent. Blasphemy is decent. Against All Odds is good. Me and My Girlfriend is good. Nah. I don't know what this brother listening to.
Tupac's later albums is that he was carried by the production and guest features. When I say guest features, I'm not talking about the Outlaws, as they ruined a
Bomb First is good. These songs should be amazing. Hail Mary definitely shouldn't be no decent song at all. Blasphemy.
large majority of songs on this album. Their styles are boring to listen to, as their rhymes are very
What?
basic. Another flaw about the Outlaws rapping alongside Tupac is that they can't match his energy, which leads to them adding nothing to the tracks that they're featured on. A perfect example of this are their guest verses on the song Hail Mary, which is considered a legendary song from Tupac. This is solely because of Tupac, as the Outlaws' verses aren't memorable in my opinion. Another flaw in this project is Tupac's repetitious style that consists of him using the same flow. Tupac was slowly undeveloping as an artist, as his topics and flows were the same. But even though this is the case, he still provided a handful of good songs on this album with high replay value. All in all, this is a good album, but it definitely has some major flaws.
Do for Love. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad people think Do for Love is one of the greatest songs off of this album. That is the greatest song off of this album. I don't care what nobody say. I give this album a C though, for sure.
On Tupac's second
He gave it a B. Okay, I'm not surprised at this point. Let me see what he rated Do for Love. Do for Love. He gave it amazing. He gave it an amazing amazing. Hellraiser, he gave that a good, okay. I don't agree with this stuff, but I get where he's coming from, I guess. I would give it a C though, for sure.
This album were met with great production and a lot of good tracks. The songs are well structured, which leads to this album flowing exceptionally well. One thing I must mention is that Tupac's style is a bit repetitious on these pre-recorded songs, as he rarely switches his flow and lacks different concepts. Either he's
Max, I kind of would agree with this, because a lot of these songs on this album were decent. They weren't amazing. I think there's a little bit more amazing songs, but if the songs weren't amazing on this album, they were just decent. You feel me? It's not like decent to me is like, if it came on, I'm gonna bob my head, but I'm not gonna really ask for it. It's like, okay, I let this pass. I play this. You feel me? But I ain't gonna be like, yo, what's this song, bro? Nah. You feel me? So I think overall this is an average Tupac album. This is something that you would expect like a person to drop as their debut. And for Pac to be as big as he was, even after his passing, I kind of would expect more from him. But this came out, what, 99? I think this album came out 99, and these songs were recorded in 93 and 94. So the style probably just didn't age well for me personally.
Rapping about his past struggles or world peace. It becomes tedious, especially since he didn't experiment with different styles and flows. The main thing that helps with this issue is the production and 2Pac's ability to create catchy hooks. This album is definitely half and half for me, as quite a bit of songs are mediocre while others were great. Another thing 2Pac did on this album is create intriguing concepts, even through the numerous tracks with repetitive subject matter. A perfect example of this is the track 16 on Death Row, which is one of 2Pac's best storytelling tracks in my opinion. Another example of this is the song Only Fear of Death, where he talks about his fear of the unknown when it comes to death. Other well-crafted songs are I Wonder If Heaven Got a Ghetto and Do For Love. Both of these tracks have catchy elements and great performances from 2Pac. In conclusion, this is a good album as it has a lot of great tracks, but it definitely has notable flaws.
Still I Rise. I just got done reacting to this album this month. You feel me? I would give this song, this album right here, I think it's better than Are You Still There? Remember Me. I definitely do believe that is a better album. And for it to be a collaboration album, I think everybody held their weight. I feel like everybody dropped their best verses, especially for the Outlaws. I felt like they definitely matched Pac's energy. Me personally, I will give this album right here, I give it a B-. I think a B- is perfect for this album. Perfect.
This is an extremely boring album.
What? No, he gave it a F. He gave it a F. Well, Letter to the President, that's an amazing song, I'm not gonna lie. Still I Rise, that's a great song. Baby Don't Cry, Keep Your Head Up 2, that's a good song. Okay. Black Jesus, good song. Illuminati, amazing. Teardrops and Closed Casket, I don't know if I would give that an amazing song. I say it's a good song or a great song. Amazing to me is no flaws. But I don't know. I was still like, I could see if it's a B to a C plus, like a B-, a C+ to a B-, somewhere in that range.
As the styles of 2Pac and the Outlaws are basic and repetitious, their lyricism isn't impressive, and their subject matter is very tedious. Too much of anything is bad for you, which also goes for motivational tracks that highlight your struggles. I got sick of hearing about how the harsh realities of their communities led to them becoming thugs. Now, their repetitious subject matter wouldn't be an issue if they switched their styles up, as this album lacks creativity. It's just the same song over and over with the same boring flows and uninteresting lyrics. But all wasn't bad, as there are some tracks that are enjoyable. This is mainly due to the production and catchy hooks from singers. There is also an instance where 2Pac and the Outlaws switched their styles up, and it worked incredibly well. The song Teardrops and Closed Caskets not only has a great concept, but 2Pac and the Outlaws presents back and forth flows that consist of each member of the Outlaws vividly telling a sad story. If they could have effectively did this throughout this album, it would have been a much better listening experience. But overall, this album is not good to me, and I have no reason to return to it, as it's the same concepts and flows from countless tracks 2Pac and the Outlaws already did.
Until the End of Time. Oh my goodness. Listen, if he give Until the End of Time an A+, I'll let everything else he says slide. This is a 10 out of 10. If he do not give this album an A+, I know something. This is 2Pac's greatest album he's ever dropped. Listen, bro, I'm telling you.
The dark side, somewhere inside my childhood when this my heart died, and even though we both
on 2Pac's third.
What the Oh! He gave a F.
This album were met with questionable production and lackluster performances. When it comes to the sound of the instrumentals, they sound up to date for 2001, but out of date according to 2024. Tupac doesn't help with
Letter to My Unborn, he gave that a good. Yo, brother. Ballad of a Dead Soldier, that's a good song. F Friends, F Friends, that's the Jay-Z diss. You feel me? That's a great song. Lil Homies, good. Let 'Em Have It, I don't really remember that song. Good Life, great. Letter to My Unborn, amazing. Happy Home, amazing. All Out, good. Effing with the Wrong Ends, good. Thugging You, Thugging Me, good. Everything They Owe, that's not a bad song. That's a good song. Until the End of Time, great. Worldwide My Figures, okay, decent. Ends Nature, great. Well, good. When Thugs Cry, great. You Don't Have to Worry. Okay. Why You Have to Turn on Me? Never Thought You Would Backstab Me. Great song. Come on now. Last One's Left. Thugging You, Thugging Me. Words to My Firstborn. I give that a good. 2000 something is a new era. Like that oh my goodness, that brother verse was tough. When I Get Free, amazing. Until the End of Time remix, another amazing. Come on, this guy, listen, no.
this as he continues to provide his underdeveloped style on the majority of this project. His flow is still the same, and his...
Should I end the video right here? I'm really debating on if I should end the video right here, man. This brother said Until the End of Time is a F. Nah.
Subject matter is extremely tiresome. This is clear indication that Tupac didn't understand the term quality over quantity, as the runtime on this album is intolerable. I know Tupac didn't have creative control of this album, and I believe others shouldn't have had control as well. It honestly feels like you're listening to the same song multiple times, which makes this album extremely boring.
I'm telling you, if he say another bad thing about this album, I'm going to end the video right here, right now. I'm not going to tolerate no Until the End of Time hate. That is Tupac's greatest album, in my opinion. That's like a very great, diverse album.
The Outlaws also add their mediocrity to this project, which makes it even worse. But although most of this album lacked excitement, there are some highlights. The song Until the End of Time is a great listening experience from beginning to end, as Tupac presents passionate vocals with the assist of incredible singing vocals from R.L. Hugger. Even the Outlaws had two highlights. Well, technically one, as they were carried by the creative instrumental on the song You Don't Have to Worry. Last One's Left is genuinely a great Tupac and the Outlaws track, as it has great production and performance.
You said it's great, but you gave it a good. Okay, bud.
All in all, this is a bad album, as it was a very boring listening experience for me.
Better Days, I think, is next. Okay, this album, I feel like he's going to give it a C+. C+. I feel like that's what I would rank it. Like a C plus B. Like a C plus B. Somewhere in that range. It was a good album, but it's not better than Till the End of Time. It's not better than the Makaveli album. It's not better than All Eyez on Me. It's not better. Actually, nah, I got to give it a B because it's not up there with Are You Still Down? Remember Me, Are You Still Down?
So much pressure in this life of mine.
It's a B.
I cried times I once.
On Tupac's fourth posthumous
Okay, C minus. I respect it. I respect it.
album, it's pretty much the same. There are some improvements, as the production is a lot better. Tupac continues to rap about the same things while never switching his flow. A lot of
Never Call You B Again. Amazing song. Oh my goodness. T.I., that Change Man, amazing song. Still Ballin', amazing song. What You Gonna Do? Fair Exchange, amazing song. It's another song on here that I really like. They Don't Give a F About Us. That's an amazing song too. Come on now, bud. I'm trying to think. I think those are all like the 10 out of 10 songs. When we ride on our enemies, okay, I give it good.
Songs are boring on this project, as it's the exact same formula as previous projects. The synopsis of this album is 2Pac giving black people hope for better days as they're struggling within their communities. A lot of songs on this album highlights the struggles in the black community, such as hundreds of other 2Pac tracks. Another thing that makes a return on this album are the lackluster styles of the Outlaws. They continue to add nothing to these 2Pac tracks, which adds to the monotony of this project. But although this album has the ability to put you to sleep, there are some highlights. Jazzy Faye was a great addition as he provided enjoyable instrumentals and singing vocals on the tracks Fair Exchange and You Can Call. 2Pac also did a fantastic job giving passionate performances on the tracks Thug Mansion and My Block. In conclusion, this album was a major step up from his previous posthumous albums, but there are still some major flaws.
From my hood days, I sit and reminisce, thinking of bliss of the good days.
On his fifth,
oh my goodness, y'all said Loyal to the Game had bad mixing. If that's what it's gonna consist of, hold up, huh?
From my hood days, I sit and reminisce.
That's 2Pac right there. That's 2Pac. That sound like Ice Cube.
From my hood days, I sit and reminisce, thinking of bliss of the good days.
On his fifth posthumous release, things are a lot different, which is mostly for the better. Although 2Pac provides the same style and concepts on this album, the creativity of the production makes a lot of these tracks tolerable. Eminem produced pretty much all the tracks, and he did a decent job. I like his creative use of 2Pac's vocals, which consists of him making 2Pac shout out himself, G-Unit, and Obi Trice. Speaking of G-Unit, some instrumentals have their aesthetic, which fits 2Pac's gangster rap style exceptionally well. Perfect examples of this are the tracks Soldier Like Me and Loyal to the Gang, which also features the G-Unit members 50 Cent, Young Buck, and Lloyd Banks. Another creative instance that I like was the production and vocals on the song Hennessy. This song is very catchy, and Obi Trice's vocals are mixed perfectly with 2Pac's verses. So much to the point that it feels like 2Pac knows Obi Trice. But although there are creative instances that enhances 2Pac's style, a large majority of this album consisted of the same boring flows and subject matter from 2Pac. It's kind of crazy how repetitive he was. His rhymes are also basic, which leads to his style becoming tiresome on certain points of this project. In conclusion, this is a decent album that consists of creative production by Eminem, along with having the same flaws as previous posthumous albums.
Yeah, baby, it's me again, stuck inside this Max pen, trying to pay my debt for all my sins. Leave these penitentiary.
On 2Pac's final posthumous album, it's pretty much the same. 2Pac's overall style hasn't changed, and his subject matter is still repetitious.
How can it change? He passed away 10 years ago. God dang! At this time that the album came out, it came out 10 years after his death. How's it gonna change? This is music that he spoke about 10 years ago. Come on now. Stop!
The thing that can save his underdeveloped rap style is the production and unique guest features. Overall, the production on this album is great, and there are also some exceptional performances.
Mind you, I haven't heard this album, so I wouldn't know though, so my fault.
From the featured artist. Perfect examples of this are the tracks Play Your Cards Right, Female, which involves Keisha Cole stealing the show with her infectious melodic vocals, Play Your Cards Right Male, which includes great chemistry between Ludacris and 2Pac. Another example where the featured artist shine is on the tracks Pac's Life Remix, which consists of Snoop Dogg and T.I. speaking to 2Pac, informing him of his influence and impact. But although there are some great tracks on this album, it's pretty much the same formula, and it isn't all that interesting overall. In conclusion, this is a decent album with a few good tracks, while others continue to highlight 2Pac's underdeveloped flow and lyrics.
How long will they move next? Yeah, it's for my nigga Kato.
Thug Life is a rap group that consists of Tupac, Big Sight, Mopreme Shakur, Makaveli, and Rated R. Their styles blend well on certain tracks, as each member has a unique flow. Some downfalls are that some tracks are boring to listen to, they have the same subject matter, along with the group's style becoming repetitive. Another flaw on this album is that Tupac takes up the majority of the tracks with his tiresome flows and subject matter. He also has 2 solo tracks, which
I'm starting to think this guy is not too fond of Tupac. Or maybe he's just being like, I guess he being real though. I mean, it's his opinion. I respect it. I respect it. You feel me? I'm starting to feel like the supporters in my comment section saying, what? Huh? Nah, you don't know nothing. You're not intelligent. Like, nah, okay. I see what they mean.
drastically takes away interest from the other group members. But although this album has its flaws, there are still tracks that highlight the group's potential. The song How Long Will They Mourn Me is a major highlight, as each member brings forth heartfelt performances about their fallen comrades. There are more instances on this album where their styles blend well with each other, but just as I mentioned before, it started to get repetitious at the end, which possibly could have led to this group becoming another version of the Outlaws. All in all, this is a fairly good album with some good performances.
Alright, so let's really break down these rankings. Okay, Tupacalypse Now, he has that as Tupac's greatest album. I'm not gonna say that at all. I haven't reacted to it, so I kind of don't have a say-so with that. Strictly for my ends, can't really give that a rating. Me Against the World, I give it an A. I give it an A. All Eyes on Me, I give it an A-. Makaveli album, I give it an A+. Are You Still Down, I give it a C. Still I Rise, I give it a B. Until the End of Time, I give it an A. Better Days, I give it a B. Loyal to the Game, never heard it. Never heard Pac's Life and never heard Thug Life. You feel me? So, yeah. I still got to do, technically, I got to do 5 more albums by Tupac, man. 5 more albums. Hopefully that lasts us to the end of the year. You feel me? So, yeah. Entire discography, he gave it a B. Okay. Not bad, even though he shouldn't have 2 Fs. Back-to-back F albums, come on. Like, his lowest rated album, I would say, is a C- or C. Like, I don't think he has a D or F album. But I will say he definitely do have, like, some C albums.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Tupac is overrated. This doesn't mean he's a bad rapper. The reason I say this is because
he said, I'm gonna just say it. Tupac is an overrated rapper. I can see why people say that, though. I can see why people say that. I could definitely see why. But do I think so? As of right now, no, I don't think Tupac is an overrated rapper.
his style and subject matter is very repetitive. Another flaw with Tupac's style is that he's a basic lyricist compared to his peers. He rarely has rhymes that excite me, as he says the same things in his songs. Either he's rapping about the struggle, or he's an outlaw from the mean streets of the ghetto. I will admit that he's very passionate when he raps, but even that becomes repetitious, as I heard this style over and over. The things that saved him most of the time was the production and the assistance from featured artists. I honestly think that was his way of being being creative, which worked in a lot of cases. This is very prevalent on his album All Eyez on Me, which is filled with incredible production and guest features. But although Tupac's style is mediocre, he still provided incredible performances that greatly highlighted his fiery rap style. 2Pacalypse Now was a great introduction to this. Not only did Tupac provide a ton of energy on this album, I feel like this was also his most creative album, as he experimented with different flows and vocal effects. I wished he would have kept experimenting while also improving his lyrical capability. One major positive about Tupac's style is that he can definitely make you feel his lyrics, even though they're basic. The way he recites his lyrics is definitely intriguing, especially when he's sharing his pain and struggles. There are countless songs in his discography that have very high replay value, as he definitely poured his heart out on those tracks. I feel like it's a gray area for a lot of people when it comes to his posthumous albums. I completely understand that Tupac didn't greenlight the songs on these projects. He had no input in the creative process, which was actually a big deal for him. But for me, this is not an excuse, as I have very high expectations for someone that's propped up to be the greatest rapper of all time. The fact of the matter is that Tupac didn't improve his style on a large majority on these unreleased tracks. I just don't see how anyone can record multiple songs that sound exactly like each other without improving in the slightest. But even though Tupac had many flaws, his overall discography is pretty good. I definitely liked his music more when he was alive. Although I understand he had no creative input on his posthumous albums, it's still...
You don't think he had input on the Makaveli album? The Makaveli album, I thought it was already turned in. You feel me? I thought it was already turned in.
No excuse for someone who's considered the greatest rapper of all time. And oh yeah, the Outlaws suck, and they're probably one of the worst rap groups of all time. They ruined...
Yo, he said the Outlaws suck. Nah, I wouldn't say they suck. I haven't really heard too much about Thug Life. I say Outlaws is better than Thug Life.
The large majority of Tupac's tracks, as their styles are boring and basic. With that being said, that's my opinion on Tupac's entire discography. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one, and stay tuned for more discography reviews. Gully Boy, signing out.
Man, y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that video right there, man. Y'all let me know if y'all think Tupac is overrated, or y'all comment down below. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about this video right here, man. And what would y'all rate each of these albums? Y'all put y'all list down below in the comment section, and I'll check it out, and we could politic about which album is really his best album. You feel me? Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell to be notified every time I drop a video. Follow me on Instagram. Link will be in the description box down below. And yeah, like I said, get this video to 20 likes if y'all want more Tupac content. See y'all in the next one. Hope y'all enjoy, man.